Hello, welcome back to Irene's Guide to Avoiding the Unhealthy. Now, I would like to point this out. Originally, my channel was named Irene's Guide to Avoiding Unhealthy Relationships. However, the name was kind of too long, and so I rephrased it or renamed the channel. So, I must introduce myself. I am actually Irene, right? So never assume anything. Just because I named it Irene's Guide to the Unhealthy, to Avoiding the Unhealthy, that does not necessarily mean that I'm Irene. So as we go through these lessons or episodes, I am going to teach you ways and help you with ways that can better your life. Now, notice I said lessons or episodes. A lot of times, what we don't do is leave enough open space for change. Now, you notice I named my first video Lesson 1. However, what if I want or decide to start naming my videos episodes? I covered that in this video. So if I choose to rename these videos episodes instead of lessons, by me including that in this video, it leaves more room. I am in crisis, y'all. So, however, it depends on what I do with the crisis. I am going to use my current crisis to help you and to help you plan better. I am also going to offer for free options for you to ask me questions through my email. Now, as Dr. Phil would say, we teach people how to treat us. If I trust you enough and I give you my email address and you send me some sick, weird, crazy, off the wall messages through my email, I will report you to law enforcement. Okay? That is my way of avoiding the unhealthy. By not avoiding it, by not allowing you to get away with that. If you threaten me, call me a weird bag of trash when you email me instead of asking me a genuine question, that is the way I do things. So I'm teaching you how to avoid the unhealthy. First, by not avoiding them. Never avoid a threat. You keep away from a threat, but you do something about it in most cases. Okay. There are rare circumstances where it may benefit you to not report the threat. Okay. Every situation is different. So, in this lesson 2 or episode 2, we're going to talk about the cheering you on. For example, in games, there's cheerleaders that stand on the side. Their job is not to play in the game. Their job is not to coach the game. They're in no way responsible for how that game is being ran or facilitated. However, cheerleaders stand on the side with their pom-poms and they dance and they say, "Go, go, go, get it, get it, get it. Yay!" That's what cheerleaders do, right? And the people in the game, football players, they just continue to play. Okay? I'll just use that as an example. Football players, they're wrestling the other man down. They're trying to get the ball. The cheerleaders do none of that. So this is why this lesson is so important, or this episode is so important. I taught you about the wishy-washy. Go to lesson number 1 and learn my quote about the wishy-washy. I am a writer. I do plan on publishing some of my books and things. So this is going to get me on the road to doing that. So I'm not going to repeat what I said. You need to be genuinely involved in the episodes and lessons if you're going to be involved. If not, get off my channel, right? So I can't force you to be involved, but you can't force me to repeat what I already repeated. And I'm doing a disservice to you not to encourage you to really get involved with the lessons, because you're here to better your life. And I can help you better your life. And the reason I can help you better your life is because I've already done something in my life to better my own life. And I continue it. Bettering your life is not something that you do just 1 or 2 days of your existence. Bettering your life is a everyday path. The way you do things is a everyday path. Not to get off subject, but I never start a video without emptying out my bladder. A lot of your health problems and medications that you're on and off of would not be needed if you only knew the importance of emptying out your bladder. Now, for me, as a little girl, I began with a weak bladder anyway. My bladder was never a strong one. So my existence began with a weak bladder. But the Lord wanted that so that I would be healthy. So before you begin anything, be actively emptying things out, whether it be your trash, your bladder, getting rid of some old paperwork, getting rid of some old anger and hostility that's in your heart and soul. Empty that out before you start on the new journey. Now, your bladder needs to be completely emptied out. However, before you start a new journey in other areas, you can partially empty it out. Like, I do have a bag of trash that I need to empty. Maybe 2 bags of trash. Those are not emptied. However, I will empty those or get rid of those after this video. I have missed garbage time. The garbage has already been picked up. In my area, I set it out on the front porch and they come get it. So I think that's already done. So I might have to wait until tomorrow. There's no food products, nothing smelly, nothing old in this garbage. So consider, if you're keeping something around, how toxic it is. So we're going to go back to this lesson. I got off subject. However, I will be back and forth. I will be changing the subject because I am not working off of a script. Okay? And the benefit of me not working off of a script is I can be my real self. I can offer you Irene. I am much better used to you without the script because I have a mouthpiece and you never know what's going to come out of it. On this channel, I have decided to avoid using profanity. However, I am a woman that uses it from time to time in my personal life. However, I do not use profanity against my enemies anymore. And remember, I told you I'm going through my own crisis. I have been personally threatened. I have received a couple of, I'm going to beat your A. I'm going to beat you down. I'm going to bash your head in. I'm going to take your life if you stay in town long enough. So I have received some serious threats. I did not respond to any of these threats by using profanity. And that's because I'm avoiding the unhealthy. Now, if you want to know more of what to do in these situations, I can communicate with you through email. Just leave a comment and we'll go from there. However, there's going to be some things I can't tell you on this channel because of the crisis that I'm going through, or I can't tell you right now. As the crisis gets resolved, and this is a crisis that's going to take some time, I will be able to tell you more. But in the meantime, I'm going to give you bits and pieces of what you can do. So, going back to cheerleaders, there's a situation with a friend. She's going through a death in the family. She's had one of her great friends' children die. These are adult children. I have a relative, an adult relative that's an immediate family member that my soul will always work for and love. And so we're going through a grieving process. Now, this particular friend mentioned to me that she couldn't hear my problems right now because she's grieving also. But keep in mind, while I was grieving, I was also hearing her problems. You see the narcissism in that? So remember, we're dealing with the world or with people, and sometimes we may even do it ourselves where they're not mindful enough to see what they're doing to us. However, I thought about this. Well, why am I venting my problems anyway? Why am I talking about this crisis anyway? For one, when you're talking about a crisis too much, when you already know what you need to be doing about it. Now, if you're talking about a crisis and you're unsure as to what your next move should be, that's different. But if you're talking about a crisis and you're aware of the steps you need to take to better that situation so that you're not on the losing end of the crisis, the reason you're talking about it is because you're not doing more about it. You're not proactive in taking the steps to do something about it. Now, cheerleaders. This particular friend, she did encourage me in some ways to help more in this situation that I'm in or this crisis. However, she is not a true cheerleader in the real sense of the word. Let's go back to what a cheerleader is. And cheerleaders, they're there throughout the game. Some of them almost never stop cheering. Yay! Y'all go! Get it! Win! Okay, so what does this tell you? I have some experience in cheerleading, right? In my younger days, I participated in color guard, parading, jazz, tap, and ballet. So I performed. I also was in drama. 8 years of my life. When I say drama, of course, acting. Okay? So up until the beginning of high school, basically, before my life took a little turn downhill, met the wrong boy, and I went on a different path temporarily, right? And going back to meeting the wrong boy. This wrong boy that I met is actually part of the crisis that I'm in right now. So keep this in mind. Whatever demons you meet when you're young will sometimes be the same demons that you have to deal with when you're up in age. So now I am up in age. I am fortunate enough, I live in a totally different state, so I don't have to deal with this demonic energy. This is the gentleman that's threatening my life. And I am in my at least middle ages. I will never call myself old. I don't care if I'm on this channel and I'm 98. I do not believe in calling yourself that. Now, my wisdom is old, my experience is old, but I will never call myself that word. If you want to call yourself that word, that's your priority. However, I will tell you my actual age before I come on here and say, yeah, I'm old, y'all. Not going to do it. I don't think that's good for my confidence and self-esteem to continue to keep it active and alive so that I can continue on this channel. So, cheerleaders. This particular friend, even though she's a great friend, she's not a cheerleader. For one, she's not bubbly enough, right? But I am, though. I can be a cheerleader if I really want to be. Yay! Go! Get it! So it goes back to my quote in episode 1 or lesson 1, the wishy-washy. So people that are not repeated cheerleaders or being active cheerleaders in your life, stop telling them your problems. How do you know they're not cheerleaders for you? When you tell them your problems, they don't say much, they just listen. Okay, such and such won't let me see my grandchildren, my nieces, or my nephews, or my siblings. The person is not saying that's really wrong what they're doing to you. That's just not right. Do you have any legal assistance? You might want to get your lawyer involved. Oh my goodness. It's so sad that we're in such a wicked world that they're doing that to you. Are you okay, baby? If you do not hear those things being said, that particular person you're venting to is not your cheerleader. So, Irene is here to tell you to, from now on, you're going to avoid that. How you're going to avoid it is you're going to stop talking about your crisis, your current crisis, or your current issues and problems with people that are not cheering you on. And the reason you're going to stop doing that is because you're dragging a heavy weight along with trying to solve the problem. Your energy and your time would be better spent in resolving the problem. And this is the process I'm going through right now, resolving the problem. And be very grateful. I apologize for that. I did kind of stumble over my words. Okay. And I'm not going to redo the video because I stumbled over my words. I'm not going to edit it out. I am not perfect. So I am not here to present some kind of fake persona of perfection. So I will stumble over my words. I will stutter. I will do these things because I'm not reading from a script. Okay? So I want you to do this, and I'm going to work on doing it too. Be very grateful for people that are very upfront with you. Learn what the message means. Also, be brave enough, like this individual, and be willing to say, well, I'm grieving also, because when she said that, it made me think, well, I'm grieving too. I just lost a relative, and I'm also kind of listening to some of her problems. So you shouldn't be doing that. I shouldn't be doing that. And the lady expressed to me that she doesn't want to do it anymore. So the Lord now wants to push you into doing something about the problem. And I am going to be so excited to share with you how I am doing something about my problem. And I want you to do this. I want you to do me this favor. I want you to like, share, and subscribe. Because I won't continue to do these videos if nobody is going to share the videos and like, subscribe, and also comment. I need comments. I see that there's some views from the first video, but I need more people to have access to this. And the reason I'm asking you to share the videos because for a while, I will not share the videos on my Facebook because of this. Some of the tips I'm going to give you and the information I'm going to be sharing, I do not want to be sharing this information with my enemy that I am in crisis with, which would be this little boy that I met in high school, that unfortunately I still have to interact with to resolve my crisis. Okay? So You don't share information with the enemy, not as of now. You have to be very secretive with your enemy because your enemy is not one of your cheerleaders. Your enemy is someone that's there to be an adversary to create drama and problems for you. Your enemies are miserable, bitter people, whether they be male or female. A female can subject the same abuse onto a man as this boy that I met in high school is subjecting upon me through the phone. Okay? Like I said, I live out of town. I left this abuser many, many years ago. And so I'm not directly subjected to it. However, my life and my family's life is being somewhat tortured, or there's a bad result in our life due to this boy's actions. I will not call him a man because he's not stepping up to man's shoes. He's behaving just like he's in high school. He still calls people names just like children do. One of the names that he's called me lately is a little retarded A girl. Well, I mentioned that I wouldn't use profanity, but I have to repeat what he said. He said, "You little retarded ass girl." I have not been diagnosed with any retardation. As far as I know, no one in my family told me that I was retarded. However, this is what the boy calls me. Like I said, not a man, a boy. Boys talk like that, not men. And if a man is talking like that and using those words, then he needs anger management and he needs some classes, okay? He needs to go to the dictionary and find some different words that he can use to talk about me. Because first of all, I'm a woman, I'm a lady. That's clear, right? I have not been in high school for a long time. But remember, this boy / man, he's stuck. He's stuck in a time warp. See, that's another thing, y'all. People won't see your growth. He's not one of my cheerleaders. Never has been. He cannot and does not have the capability to be one of my cheerleaders. So, going on to add more, stop giving the position to people that cannot be one of your cheerleaders. They don't want to be one of your cheerleaders because they don't like you. They don't want to see you do better. They want you in the same miserable torture that they are in mentally. So you got to recognize cheerleaders. You need cheerleaders. Yay, go, run, go do it, get it. Hey, congratulations. Those are cheerleaders. Consistent cheerleaders. Come on back over here, y'all. I need y'all. Yes. Those are cheerleaders, okay? Cheerleaders are vocal in your life, not silent. Avoid the silent ones. You're talking, you're expressing the problem, they're silent. You've been taught that silence is good, but it's not. Right now, you hear me, right? So imagine coming to one of my videos and you just heard 24 minutes. I'm 24 minutes in this video and you heard 24 minutes of nothing. You wouldn't continue throughout the video, right? Because it's silent. That's the same thing you need to do when people that are not your cheerleaders are silent. Okay? And I need you to show me that you're a cheerleader for Irene by leaving a comment. I want to be your cheerleader. I will respond to all comments, and I want you to be my cheerleader. So start learning and showing that you have the ability to be a cheerleader by leaving a comment. Okay? So Lesson number 2, episode 2. Please like, share, and subscribe. And leave a comment, cheerleader, male or female. In this instance, cheerleaders are not just female. We're going to make the males cheerleaders also, because we're all capable of cheering somebody on. Okay, so tune in for episode 3 or lesson number 3. I might call these episodes instead of lessons. And the reason I may do that is because a lot of people in today's world in 2023, they don't want to learn a lesson. Isn't that sad that we live in a world where people are refusing to learn lessons? Stuttered again. People are refusing to learn lessons. It goes back to when that boy called me a little retarded girl. Hey, you never know. Maybe there's some retardation there. Okay? No disrespect to the disabled. However, if there's a drop of retardation in me, I'm very successful in it. See? Don't be afraid to be sarcastic. That's your problem. You're not sarcastic enough. Learn to do that. It's fun. Your enemy hates it. And the reason they do is because it takes a little thought and intelligence to be sarcastic. They're only able to be violent. Violence involves zero intelligence. Sarcasm involves a lot of intelligence. And I'm only doing it here to make you laugh, y'all. You need a laugh, right? Okay, so almost 27 minutes in. Thank you for tuning in to Irene's Guide to Avoiding the Unhealthy. We're going to get there together. Thank you.